Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Dom Mafia Live, powered by the BetUS Sportsbook, man. What is going on, everybody? As many of you know, I am live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST, and then also I am live at 5:15 p.m. EST, giving you your daily dose of Buffalo Bills news, NFL news, you name it. I'm just here yapping and talking football with the homies in the chat. You did read that correctly. Today, we are going to be looking at this Miami Dolphins team. Now, I did a in-depth breakdown of what I was expecting from this team back in week 2. And there's no question that this team looks a hell of a lot different. Yes, they have Tua back, but at the end of the day, this team has struggled tremendously. In fact, looking over all of their previous games, I don't believe that they have broken 30 points at all this year. I think they are struggling defensively, particularly when it comes to stopping the run game. Their secondary has been having extra difficulty in being able to make noise against any sort of wide receiver attack, largely due to the fact of their lack of pass rush. Offensive line is in complete shambles. And this Miami Dolphins team is in what I would like to call desperation mode. Now, it's funny because I talked to a couple of Dolphins fans and they said that, listen, if we lost to the Arizona Cardinals, then this season is over. If we lose to the Buffalo Bills, this season is over. In order for this team to make the playoffs or even have a shot in hell, they would essentially need to win out for the remainder of the season. Their schedule is less than ideal. So now I'm looking at this squad and I'm looking at a team that has shifted their overall goals. And now what they want is to play spoiler, right? So I have a feeling this team is going to come out and attempt to play their best game of football yet against the divisional rival. After, of course, they started off to a slow beginning in the 2024 season, and largely they are in tank mode to do whatever they possibly can to shorten the rebuild that is clearly in front of their eyes. So when I say the Buffalo Bills need to destroy the Miami Dolphins, I mean, I expect that. I expect them to be destroyed. I look at this overall team from top to bottom on their roster. This Buffalo Bills team is better in every capacity, at every position, at every matchup. There is no excuse. There is absolutely no excuse that we don't go out there and hold this team to 14 points at an absolute max, and we don't absolutely torch this defense without at least 30 points. A 30 points against this defense should be very easily attainable. And I will say, even being, I'd say at around 24 to 28 points before even the half is what I expect from this Buffalo Bills team, right? Good teams beat the hell out of inferior squads. And that is basically what I am anticipating and expecting from the Buffalo Bills moving forward. And genuinely, I can't wait. I cannot wait for Sunday. As many of you guys know, I do my live game reaction. I do my live play-by-play reaction on Sunday, and I sincerely hope that each and every single one of you are able to join because we have a great time over there, baby. We got a great time. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see a lot of familiar faces. I see some newbies in the chat already, guys. Do me a favor, roll call immediately, and let me know where you are tuning in from because I got to know. I got to know, how far does Bills Mafia truly extend? We had like 800 people in the chat yesterday where we were talking about potential trade moves that the Buffalo Bills and Brandon Beane could be cooking up behind the scenes. It was a great damn time. It was a great damn time. So shout out to everybody that came on in, but shout out and let me know in the chat where you are tuning in from. Let's go ahead and do a nice little roll call. What is going on, baby? Damn, we get commercials on a live stream. What the hell? Daddy got to pay the bills, baby. Daddy got to pay the bills. Long Island, New York, man. We got this in the building. Your boy is in the house, 716. What is going on, New York City? Ashley from Georgia. Congrats on 29K. Thank you so much, Ansley. I appreciate that. I sincerely appreciate that, Ansley. So sweet. I did see your DM on X. I am working on getting a P.O. box. So the second that I get a P.O. box, I will certainly let everybody know because I know a lot of you guys have been DMing me saying that you want to send me things, which is super sweet. Honestly, all I want from you guys is simply just join me. each and every single day so we can talk ball with my friends. That's really all I ask for. It's just that I can have some people that hop in these streams and just talk ball with me, man. That's all I need. JA needs to put the exclamation point on his MVP season with this game. Dang, I'm going to tell you what, man, things are absolutely beautiful. We got New York City in the chat. Scrooge, what is going on, man? Hope all is well. York, Pennsylvania in the chat. We got Livingston County, New York. Keith and Suzanne Blackbird. What is going on? 916 California. We got New Jersey, Angola, New York, Ontario, Canada. What's going on? Zoop, what up, Brett? How you doing, man? California, 410, Maryland in the house. And do we want Adam Thielen for a fifth? We have AOL Instant Messenger. I'm good on wide receiver. If we make any move whatsoever, it has to be defense, right? Has to be defense. Clarksville, Tennessee is in the chat. I am in Ohio, but I'm from Alaska. What's going on, man? How you doing? Coming down south. I appreciate that. Allen can't clinch the MVP with 8 games remaining. Ooh, a P.O. box. I got ideas. You better not send me any weird shit, bro. Don't send me no weird shit. MVP after the Super Bowl win. Let me see. What CB will Coleman be up against this week if Ramsey is on Cooper? Great question. We're going to be unpacking all of this information here shortly, folks. Trust me on that. We have Clowney, and then we also end up having London, UK. Buffalo Snowy is in the chat. What is going on? Bildos. Stat Boy's going to send me some Bildos in the P.O. box. Maybe I should second think, or maybe I should have a second thought on opening one of these up. I don't necessarily trust you guys and what you're going to send me. So we need safe, hard hitting this game. Go Bills, score fast, don't stop out of College Station, Texas. My guy, College Station, Texas. What's going on? The land of the Aggies. I can certainly appreciate that, folks. I really, really can. Now, one thing I do want to do is I just have to give a shout out to BetUS, guys. Like I said, we have the lines already. I'm going to go ahead and see if anything has shifted. But the Buffalo Bills are still clear favorites for this game, as we should. This team has been playing lights out at home. We sincerely have. We are just a different team at home outside of the Seattle Seahawks massacre that happened this past Sunday. When the Buffalo Bills are at home, the point differential is just absolutely insane. But I'll tell you what. Spread right now is sitting at -6.5. And I can tell you this. I genuinely believe that we should win this game by 2 to 3 scores. Really should. I'm very confident that this spread is going to hit at -6.5. Now, say, for example, that you are also feeling that level of confidence, guys. Highly recommend you go check out BetUS. I mean, honestly, and so they are matching what, like 150% of your first deposit and 125% of your second and your third, as long as you just use code YouTube 150. It's absolutely a no-brainer, folks. They are giving away so much free money. And if you're betting on the Buffalo Bills, like I'm sure a lot of you guys have been doing so far for the earlier amount of the season, you've been absolutely cleaning damn house when it rolls into it. So absolutely insane, guys. Go check out BetUS, proud sponsor over at the channel. And then now we're going to take a look at the Miami Dolphins and what team we have to take a look at. What I want to do is I want to look at the statistics from the defense specifically, because we really know what we're going to get from Tua, right? Like, I'm really not going to be looking at this these offensive metrics too heavily, largely due to the fact that they had a lot of games with Tyler Huntley, and they had a couple of games with Skylar Thompson. So these numbers are probably going to be skewed. And outside of Tua completely fumbling that safety, which ultimately ended up making the Dolphins lose that game this past Sunday, he had like a way better performance than what other quarterbacks in Miami were giving them for the past couple of weeks. But I also like to say, and this is a joke, but it's also something that I wholeheartedly believe. I think that when it comes to Mike McDaniel and Tua, when they look at the Buffalo Bills and they look at Sean McDermott and they look at Josh Allen, they see these guys as the boogeyman. They have the yips. They forget how to play football when they play the Buffalo Bills. Whether or not that they are a winning team, like they were last year for a large portion of the regular season, or whether or not that they are a terrible team, this Miami Dolphins team looks at the Buffalo Bills and they see them as the boogeyman. They forget how to play football. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if like we get into their heads. I'm not sure if like they fear us or something along those lines, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. All right. What's up, JD the Great? How you doing, man? Okay, we got Go Bills from Kansas, Corey Sampson. What's up, bro? Hope all is well. And so did you hear that Edwards wants out? I wouldn't be surprised. And so I heard Trump, Biden, and Harris all agreed Miami is garbage. Look at that. Our country is unifying with how shitty the Miami Dolphins are. Look at that. The Dolphins are an embarrassment. We have Axel. Dolphins need to start over. They suck. Oh, my God. All right, dude. Bills should dominate this game 42-10. Bills 42-17, 4 sacks, 2 interceptions. Bills dog walk the fish. We have Go Bills from Rhode Island. Let's talk about that. We have AOL Instant Messenger with some McDonald's fries in the chat. Bills 52-17. All right. So this is what I want to take a look at. Specifically their defense. Okay? Because we remember that James Cook and Ray Davis absolutely destroyed them on week 2. This was a game where Josh Allen really wasn't even involved for the most part. This team cannot stop the run. It's just how it is, right? Like, you go to rushing statistics, everyone in the world is rushing against the Miami Dolphins. Yards per rush is at 4.4. Rushes per game are at 28.1. Rush yards per game is at 123.7. Rush touchdowns a game are about 1.4, right? So red zone is certainly a massive concern for this team. And the Buffalo Bills, on both ends of the coin, have been absolutely lethal in the red zone on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. So something to take a look at. Passing, as far as that plays out, right? Like, not a lot of teams are passing a lot against the Miami Dolphins. Maybe they have some shred of respect for their secondary, or at least their perimeter guys. With the completion rate, 61.9. Right there, you have yards per pass at 6.9. You have pass yards per game. That's 176.3. That's top 5 as far as what they're shutting out. And then sacks, not getting to the quarterback. Absolute zero pressure when it comes into it. And then that's really a look at this overall defense right here, folks, right? Now, what I do want to do, Miami Dolphins, PFF. Let's take a look at this for a second. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the lineup here for a second for all you guys to see. We're going to put a team. We're going to put the Buffalo Bills. Bang, bang. This right here. Let's go defense. We got defense right here. All right. And so we'll go with the, okay, yeah, we'll go with the nickel look right here, right? So this is how it plays out. And let's take a look at some matchups real fast. Have Ramsey in the slot, which is certainly very interesting. Okay, so he'd be going up against Khalil Shakir. You have Fuller, who is against, of course, Keon Coleman. And then at the exact same time, you also have Amari Cooper against Cam Smith, who is a rookie who is going to get absolutely destroyed. So there's a couple of matchups. In fact, there's quite a few matchups that I want to take a look at from this overall squad that I really think this Buffalo Bills offense is clearly going to walk away with 30-plus points, right? This is where I'm at right now. Okay? I have a feeling, and I'm going to continue to say this, that I genuinely believe that Amari Cooper is going to have his welcome to Buffalo sort of game. He's going to be that dude. I think Keon Coleman might have a couple of passes here and there. I think Dalton Kincaid is absolutely going to go off, especially with Ramsey right over here. Let's say that they don't run nickel. Like, let's just go base. So they'd have Ramsey versus Coleman, and they'd have Fuller over Cooper. And then Shakir would be somewhere around this area. But they would probably end up running nickel so that they would have a slot corner, and Ramsey would be on Shakir, et cetera, et cetera. They don't really have the personnel to run like quality sort of defense from that look specifically. You have Poyer, who ended up getting hurt. You have Marcus May as the safety. Long Jr. as well, who is absolutely terrible in pass coverage. 63.4, never mind. He's terrible in run defense at 41.2. So he could be somebody that could be picked on. And then with Jordan Brooks, solid in pass rush. His coverage grade is at 59.5. So I'm looking up. Excuse me, never mind. Long is absolutely terrible in coverage and in run defense. So again, pick on those linebackers. That's going to be key number one. In the pass game, I expect a massive game from this gentleman right here, Shakir. I expect a massive game from Dalton Kincaid right here. And then I also expect a massive game from Amari Cooper as well once we end up trying to target some of these Marcus May situations, or we start targeting our good friend Jordan Poyer, who has been less than ideal in overall coverage and has been getting cooked on a regular basis, if you will. Now, if we go on ahead and we switch over Buffalo Bills PFF, take a look at this lineup. We're going to put the Miami Dolphins here for a second. Where are you fools? There you are. Okay. We're going to go defense here. We're going to go nickel because we know that we always go nickel. Here's the thing. This is what we have. We have Rasul Douglas against Waddle. And I think that we can all remember the numbers that we held Waddle to. We have Christian Benford versus Tyreek Hill. And let me tell you what, with Tyreek Hill, was locked down by Christian Benford last game as well. He went for like 30-something yards. We have Taron Johnson on Malik Washington. And then what is even more exciting right now, like what is even more exciting is what we are going to be seeing from this pass rush for the Buffalo Bills. Smoot, you have Oliver right in the interior. Maybe it's Daquan Jones who ends up going in there. But you have Eichenberg, you have Jackson, the absolute weak links of this offensive line. On the right side, obviously have Eric Armstead, who is their best, but he like really only gives them what, like 5 to 6 games per week. So the pass rush is going to be ideal. But the one thing that I think is interesting is that they have Devon Achane, who rushed for about 80 to 90 yards against the Buffalo Bills last time that we played them on week 2. Now, you've heard me say this several times. I do believe that what the Buffalo Bills like to do is allow teams to run on them. Okay. That spoke volumes as into why we were okay. EPA statistics. First half of the game, sitting at 27th ranked in stopping the run. Second half of the game, where we ended up saying, hey, let's make adjustments. And we slowly but surely became the second best team in the NFL when it came into stopping the run when you're talking about EPA. And what the Bills did last week was that they ran a lot of dime package. They ran a lot of dime package where we only ended up seeing one linebacker. We had 6 DBs out there. We essentially committed to the run, and we trusted Christian Benford and we trusted Rasul Douglas on the perimeter to take care of the wide receivers that they did have. So it's basically where we're at right now. Get ready for my clips, Dan. Don't worry, man. We're going to be playing the clips. So we're going to be playing the clips, man. No issue. Miami player gave up on their season. We have Blair in the chat saying, wants Josh not to throw more than 25 times, be balanced, run the ball, and Cook and Davis 100 yards already. We have Rasul Douglas gives 100%. He certainly does. He was an absolute steal during the trade deadline last year. Go Bills. I want to win that Josh Allen rookie card or any card for my son. Bobby AG is in the chat. What's going on, my guy? What's going on, dude? Hope all is well. I wouldn't mind for the Bills to pick up another linebacker, versatile enough for coverage and to stop the run. Our linebackers are always getting hurt. We have Joshua Harris. Dan, it's Josh again. Free me. Joshua Harris, what's going on, brother? How you doing? It's Josh again. Free me. I got Bills. Okay, we have SFL outside is saying, I got Bills. I'm putting the mortgage on it. I'm pretty sure this is a Dolphins fan, my boy SFL outside. He was just like, bro, I'm good. I am not going to bet on my Miami Dolphins to win this game. And I'll tell you what, listen, I wholeheartedly believe that I think the Buffalo Bills, I really think the Buffalo Bills, and I hate to say this because I don't want to jinx it, although that I don't believe in jinxes because I'm not 3 years old. But on paper, based off of how this team has won, like based off of how this team has absolutely dominated like this team for years and years and years, and now that the Dolphins have had a slow start, there's no world where I don't see this Buffalo Bills team hanging up a very similar score to what we saw in week 2, 31-10. Like, honestly, I just don't see it. And it's not even to a point where like I'm like sitting there shitting on the personnel. I'm shitting on Mike McDaniel. because Mike McDaniel perhaps has to be one of the least creative coaches in the NFL. I am convinced that he has 20 plays. And ever since the NFL started cracking down on all of these illegal motions, you'll notice all the motions ended up stopping over at Miami, which made them so good. And now he's one dimensional. You almost already know what he's going to do. Sean McDermott is so good at taking away Tua's first read, where he ends up subjecting himself to pressure, right? Like no one can get open. He has to run for his life half of the time. Now we're going to be in Buffalo as well. Like I said, I genuinely believe this Dolphins team has the yips each and every single time that they play the Buffalo Bills. Like we are the boogeyman to the Miami Dolphins. We really, really are. So, I'm not going to guarantee that we're going to go in there and kick their ass, but I'm saying based off of what I am reading, we should go in there and kick their ass like we always do. Like we should. There is zero excuse. There is zero excuse that we don't go in there and punch them in the mouth. The only way that we lose this game is if the Buffalo Bills go out there and we just come out flat and like half of our guys forget to play football. That's basically where it's at right now. Like we are so significantly better than this team. Like each and every single year. Like we are so significantly better. We are way better coached. We have a way better quarterback. We have a better pass rush, better offensive line. And so our money's better. Our bitches are better. I'm just kidding. Listen, I'm not even saying this so to be cocky. I'm not predicting that we're going to kick their ass, but I'm saying if we don't kick their ass, I'm going to be very upset because that is how much I think of the Buffalo Bills, and that is how little I think of the Miami Dolphins. Is basically what I look at this overall roster. And I think a lot of Dolphins fans have agreed with me. So at that point, Bills own the Fins. We do. Like, that's why, like, I'm not going to, all right, listen, I'm not going to give them respect. I'm not going to give this team respect. I'm not going to fear this team. I'm not going to come out and say, oh, guys, we can't sleep on this team. We can't do it. Because what in history, since Josh Allen has been a Buffalo Bill, since Sean McDermott has been coaching the Buffalo Bills, what in history should make me come out here and say, oh, we can't be sleeping on this squad? How would you expect that from me? How can I confidently say that without looking like a little bitch boy that's just trying to walk on eggshells? Be like, oh my God, I have to respect that team, man. I have to respect, like, dude, like, no, like, have you watched Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins football for the past 7-8 years? Like, have you? It's basically like what the Patriots used to do to the Buffalo Bills. That is like now the new dynamic in the AFC East. And I don't even think that Dolphins fans are getting upset with me at this point because I know at one point, I think they agree with me. Right? Like most Dolphins fans agree with me at this point. And it's no disrespect. I just have no respect for the team. And the thing is that I hate like when people come in here and they say, Dan, like you better not sleep like on the Miami Dolphins, right? Folks, I hate to break the news to you, but me sleeping on the Miami Dolphins plays zero effect into the game plan. I promise you this Buffalo Bills team goes into each and every single week, regardless if we were playing an 0-9 team, a 2-5 team, or if we were playing an undefeated team with the exact same mentality that we need to go out there and play our best ball. And the Buffalo Bills typically have a stinker each and every single year. But at the exact same time, right? But like at the exact same time, I feel like we got that out of the way. And I feel like a game at home in Buffalo, based off of all of these mismatches, just doesn't like make sense at the end of the day. We have JD in here, all facts, Dan. Yeah, dude, it's like, honestly, man, like no, like I'm not trying to disrespect any of the Dolphins fans in here. I'm just saying, how in the hell can I even put out into the universe that this team has a chance, right? And say that I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And this Buffalo Bills team did not deserve to win if they go out there and play shit football. But it just doesn't make sense. You really hope that this is the game. And so do you respect Coach for not running up scores when we clearly have the win in hand, or would you rather blow the doors off like the Lions have done? I'll tell you what, dude, I'm fine with Coach not doing that because you definitely don't want to give any bulletin board material, especially if like you see a team again in the playoffs, right? And granted, and the only two teams that are realistically about to play us in the playoffs is going to be the Ravens and the Houston Texans. But now the Houston Texans, man, like, I'm not sure about you guys, but how confident are you that this Houston Texans team is going to go the mile now that they have Stephon Diggs out for the season? Dan, and so the problem is real Dolphins fans will tell you that the Bills is our daddy, and the Tua worshipers will give you an excuse on why Tua is trash against the Bills as if Tua is the Dolphins. Scar 305. I mean, listen, I've noticed that quite a bit as well. Like, I've seen a lot of Dolphins fans that just ride for their quarterback and not for their team. And it blows my mind. And so I would be extremely shocked if Miami goes into Buffalo and wins, and the coaching in Miami is straight up stupid. I'm just waiting for the day where Mike McDaniel ends up getting fired, guys. If anybody wants Mike McDaniel's like rate, and so to be canned, like say that anybody wants Mike McDaniel to be canned, like y'all should be rooting for the Buffalo Bills to win this game, because I honestly think that say that a move is going to be made about firing Mike McDaniel, it's probably going to be after another ass whooping by Buffalo. So if you're a Dolphins fan and want Mike McDaniel gone, I think you probably should be rooting for the Bills. We have JD coming in saying, I ride for the team only. I totally understand that, and I totally respect that. I totally respect that. I am calling Bills versus Lions in the Super Bowl this year. I have a pretty accurate, and so I feel really good about that too. And so to be completely honest with you, what's up with a lot of these missing easy kicks? Why are the kickers missing easy kicks? Thanks to Nick Martino. I have no idea, dude. I have zero idea. Some of the biggest names that were once known as the best kickers in football have started sucking tremendously. I have no idea why, but it's happening. It's hard to fear a team that's 4 games behind by week 8. Tua is like the new Romo. Bills 13-4, Miami 6-11, Jets 6-11, Pats 4-14. That is the final record prediction that's coming in from Jordan Smith here. I will take McDaniel as our run game coordinator. Delusional Patriots fan. He's trying to recruit. And so I'm a Dolphins fan, not a player fan. I absolutely respect that, Ryder. I certainly do. I can't believe Stephen Ross still trusts Mike McDaniel and Chris Ross. Such a misery. I have zero idea either, but I am not running that organization. Absolutely crazy. Y'all are going to blow us out of the water, and I'm here for it. We have Ryder 716 hoping he can get Cam Ward next year. And honestly, Tyler Bass looks good compared to some of these other kickers, which is a little comforting. I mean, honestly, man, like with Tyler Bass, he only struggles in Buffalo. And so to be honest with you, vast majority of his kicks are in Buffalo, which is wild, right? Yo, we dropped that Texans game and they didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. Not intimidated by the Texans at all, especially now their season is done and they aren't that good, even with Stephon Diggs. And so I'll tell you what, Manuel, this Texans offense never really ended up like hitting the ground running, right? Like we all thought that they were going to be putting up like 40 to 50 points per game, even when they had Collins and Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon healthy on several of these occasions. They had a lot of gaffes and it was weird, right? Like we held Houston to 3 points in the second half of that game that we played them, right? We scored a lot of unanswered. I don't know. And so I'll tell you what, man, listen, I would love that Houston game back. I guarantee you that if we were to play them right now this week, that we'd beat them by 2 scores. I promise you that. I promise you that we would have beaten Houston by 2 scores if we were playing them this week. But we're going to have to wait for the playoffs, baby. we're going to have to wait for the playoffs, man. It's how we it's how that works. So we can lock up this division with a Jets loss and we sweep the Dolphins. We would be 7-2. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I'm super excited to watch the Texans and the Jets game on Thursday. I refuse to pick the Jets. I want to pick the Jets. I've been wanting to, but somehow I still have a feeling that Houston's going to come out on top. CJ Stroud, for example, like he had his worst game as a rookie last year against the Jets defense, but the Jets defense is just not who they used to be, which makes it crazy. Your smirk is riding on 10, Dan. Hope it stays in January. Super Dave Boston. Yeah, man. And so the Dan Mitchell smirk is here. Listen, man, as long as we stay healthy, specifically on the linebacker side of things and defense in general, right? I feel good. So whatever the trainers need to do to make sure that Bernard and Milano and Dorian Williams stay healthy right during the playoffs, I like us against any team in the NFL because I know that our offense has a lot of insurance policies where we could ride and like sort of rely on several different occasions, but yeah, I have no idea. And so I don't know, Daddy. And so unless he gets injured, and so he looks great right now. Oh my God. And happy Halloween, everyone. And the Vikings and the Steelers scare me as a Bills fan. And so the Steelers are a good team, man. And so the Steelers are about to win the AFC North. Zero questions asked. Like absolutely nothing is convincing me otherwise that this Steelers team is going to win. Like fucking Russell Wilson looks like that he's back from the dead. Like dude rose from the grave and all of a sudden he's playing quality football. That right there is what a good coach like Mike Tomlin can do. So really would love to find a way to get 1 seed. That would be huge towards a Super Bowl run. We have Blair. I did do an exercise yesterday on my stream where I went through the entire playoff machine. Basically, we need, and by the way, hear me out. This is a bold take. And so I'm going to say it again. I actually have, so the Denver Broncos handing the Chiefs their first loss. Sounds crazy, right? I have a feeling, and get this, here's an even hotter take. I have the Denver Broncos beating the Ravens on Sunday. And people are just like, Dan, you are absolutely nuts. How? Look at their defense, boys. Look at their defense. Like their defense was quite literally built to stop Derrick Henry and the Ravens. That Denver Broncos defense was quite literally built to stop an offense like that. I have the Broncos beating the Ravens next week in Baltimore, and then I have the Broncos beating the Kansas City Chiefs the following week. I do. First loss for Kansas City is coming from the Denver Broncos. Yes, most definitely. I have it. It's a hot take for a reason. But I have the Broncos winning 2 back-to-back, one against the Ravens, one against the Chiefs back-to-back. I have the Broncos being the 5th seed in the AFC this year. I do. And I didn't believe in them at first, but I do. It's that defense. As long as they can stay healthy, it's crazy. Really, dang. Isn't Mahomes undefeated versus Denver? Yeah, I think so, actually. But it's going to be the first one, man. Listen, I love that defense in Denver, and I really think that they're going to keep it interesting. How do we feel about TB12 calling games? Are we fans? Do we not care? Thoughts? So I'll be honest with you, Nick, man. I really don't hear him a lot because normally I end up watching Red Zone when I'm not watching the Buffalo Bills. And when I'm watching the Buffalo Bills, I'm obviously giving my live play-by-play reaction. So I don't have the announcers going sort of at that point. So I haven't really had an opportunity of hearing him call a game. I did see that interview with Josh Allen. He loves Josh Allen, right? Like he's the new Tony Romo for, sucking Josh off. And I'm here for it. Brett Holmes, yeah. And so that Texans game, Beth Collins touchdown. He took advantage of a rookie in Cole Bishop who was out there for a play because of an injury and that he got replaced as soon as that happened. I mean, listen, as far as it plays out, that's exactly what you expect from an offense. When there is a player that's out for one play due to an injury, 110% that next pass is going to go to that person replacing you. It's Cole Bishop. He wasn't necessarily known for being elite in pass coverage. He's more of a downhill thumper, but I'm okay with that. Denver plays them close. What's your take on the Bills possibly becoming the 1 seed? I heard multiple people tell me it's stupid thought and it wouldn't happen. I mean, listen, it's definitely not out of the equation. I mean, if y'all think that the Chiefs can't lose at least 3 or 4 games for the rest of the season, I honestly think that, like, you're crazy. And so I think this Chiefs team is good, and they are very well coached. But going undefeated for the regular season is going to be very difficult. It really is, especially since they've been so hit or miss on offense. That defense has been incredible. But again, we have to remember, folks, if we look into the future for about 3 to 4 weeks, who's to say that that Chiefs team is going to be the same, right? Are they going to have the exact same roster that they put out on the field each and every single week? Like, there's so many moving pieces in the NFL. So many moving pieces in the NFL. It's very difficult for me to think it's possible for a Chiefs team to go completely undefeated, right? And so I like Buffalo against Kansas City, but I'm not going to get away. But so I'm not going to get ahead of myself because we typically play them very well in the regular season. But it's just basically how it is. We have Jordan S in the chat. Josh is the reason I am a Bills fan. Jordan S. Look at that. Josh Allen. Shout out Josh Allen. Well, hey, you know what? Speaking of that, and so I do want to remind everybody. So I am giving away a Josh Allen rookie card. Oh, no, that is the Dalton Kincaid rookie card. That's a giveaway for another day. I am giving away a Josh Allen rookie card to one of you lucky subscribers or anyone that follows me on a variety of platforms. I pick a random platform. I pick a random person. And I've been doing giveaways all week, folks, all season, rather. If you want to be a part of this giveaway or all of my giveaways moving forward, folks, you need to be a subscriber to this YouTube channel. And you also need to have a free pristine auction account. Link is in the description, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, I'm running these giveaways, okay, on each and every single one of my platforms. Last week when I gave away that signed Keon Coleman helmet, I ran the giveaway on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on X. So far, I have given away one on X. I have given away one on Instagram. It's all completely random. I have a random spinny wheel that tells me a random spinny wheel that tells me what platform I go to, and then a random spinny wheel that tells me how many comments that I need to like go down to in order for me to pick the winner. So it's entirely free. I definitely try not to give it to people that I know and I have like solid friendships with because I think that would be unfair. But if you want to be a part of this giveaway, all of my giveaways, certainly subscribe to the channel and get that going. Also have a Dalton Kincaid signed rookie card in which that I will be giving away. And I have a James Cook signed jersey. I have a Christian Benford signed jersey. I have a Taron Johnson signed jersey. And I have a Gregory Rousseau signed jersey in the mail. I should be getting it today. Sound off in the comments and let me know what I should do after the Josh Allen rookie card giveaway. What should the next giveaway be after the Josh Allen rookie card? I'm curious. Want to get all of you guys into that. We have Bills Mafia J718. I'm just getting in now, Dan. Hope all is well. So who is Buffalo targeting as the trade deadline approaches? Go Bills. Bills Mafia J718. I'll tell you what, man. I hope that if we're targeting anything, I hope it's either an edge rusher, and I think that's probably my personal favorite. Like, I'd say position that I want to go on ahead and target, if not safety as well, which I'd be fine with Andre Cisco, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And maybe Buda Baker, but that is a pipe dream. Forget rookie card. I want a Josh Allen MVP card. That's what he wants. A Bills neon sign. I don't have a Bills neon sign to give away, unfortunately. Maybe I can. Let's go, Bills. Living Black Irish. What up? What up, man? How you doing? How you doing, man? Bernard jersey or the Benford jersey, I think. What's your prediction? Scar 305. My prediction for the game. Oh, man, I have a feeling that you guys are going to hate me for this. But as far as history is concerned, I have the Buffalo Bills winning 31-17. Yeah. And so I feel like it's 31-17 is what we're going to be seeing. Would love one of those jerseys. I know Vaughn isn't suspended anymore. What's he going to look like this weekend? I'll tell you what, Tyler, I'm not particularly sure how many snaps he's going to get. Even before he was suspended against Baltimore, I want to say he was only out there maybe like 10 to 11%. It is a favorable matchup, though. He is going up against one of their worst offensive linemen. And so it is their right tackle. So, I mean, I could see Vaughn being rotational, like 30, 40%, and just give me a couple of pressures. Would love a sack from Vaughn as well. Hopefully he has that. Season doesn't end today, so it don't matter. Give away that signed Tua card, Dan. I don't have a signed Tua card, but I do have quite a few Dolphins fans that follow me. So maybe I'll have to do like a Dolphins giveaway. So I'll tell you what, listen, I'm probably going to do like more like NFL centric giveaways during the off season. I feel like that's going to be the case. I feel like that's what I'm going to have to do is just do more of like a Dolphins centric is more of like a Dolphins centric giveaway if that's what I need to do. So we have the Buffalo Wings. PM me on Discord. We have, and there's still a lot of football to be played. Absolutely. Let's talk about that. Bills consolidated implied Trey White trades become free safety. Thoughts? Here's the thing. So I think that Trey White, and listen, I appreciate everything that Trey White has done for the Buffalo Bills. He was truly one of my favorite players on this team for quite some time. But where it stands, and this is multi-layered, so bear with me, he is quite literally the worst statistical cornerback in the NFL through 7-8 games, right? So he's clearly past his prime. Moving over to free safety would be interesting, but is that something Sean McDermott's going to do, right? Like, is that something that Sean McDermott is going to do? Because as much as people like to hate on Damar Hamlin, and so, all right, listen. So I will say this again, that I believe everybody that overhates Hamlin is completely wrong. And I think that really anybody that overhypes or overprotects Hamlin is wrong as well. He's playing decent football, right? Yes, he's not the best in pass coverage. We obviously want him to be better in pass coverage. But as far as tackles, he's top 3 in the team, bro. Like, he's like 3rd on the team for overall tackles. On PFF, he's rated above a lot of big names already. He's doing his job. And I also think that the safety position, for the most part, is largely irrelevant, like nowadays, because NFL offenses aren't stretching the field like they used to. They're doing a lot of attacking the middle, 0 to 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. Like, they're doing dink and dunks. They're running the football a hell of a lot more. This NFL is just not stretching the field as often as they used to. So safety play really isn't that important. Here's my thing. I'm not going to send over draft capital for a guy that's going to be a depth piece, right? I'm not going to send over like draft capital. It's going to be a depth piece. An edge rusher is different because they're typically rotational. So you rotate out pass rushers. So that's why, like, I'm welcoming in maybe with Clowney from Carolina, right? Like, he's not the best in pass rush, but he's incredible in the run. And if you guys are concerned about stopping Derrick Henry, that's the sort of player that stops Derrick Henry, is Clowney, who's fast enough off the edge. He sets the edge great. He could chase him down. He's fast. He's big. So that's a sort of player that I think that Brandon Beane would probably make a move for. Or maybe Zadarius Smith, as far as that plays out. But as far as a depth piece in our secondary, that number one, like, needs to learn the position on the fly, I don't think that Sean McDermott is going to trust a guy who has never played the position at the highest level. So I am not a fan. I am not a fan specifically of getting draft capital for that. The picks were handed to him. I can't wait to see the new stadium. That's what I'm extremely excited for. We have King Lowski. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, I knew it, Dan Mitchell. Yo, what did you know, King Lowski? What did you know, man? What did you know? All right, we have Douglas has been awesome, but really want him to come down with a pick. He is in the right spots and makes great tackle, but get your hands under the ball. 2 picks this week, but he better when we need it. Any fellow Canadian Bills fans here? Do we have any fellow Canadians in the chat, folks? Shout out to the Canadians, baby. Shout out to the Canadians. I oftentimes miss having Brian Dable. I mean, why? And so why would you miss having Brian Dable? And so with Joe Brady is hands down a way more consistent offensive coordinator. Way more. Where's my wrench, Dan Mitchell? All right, King Lowski. I'll give you a wrench. I'll give you a wrench, bro. I will give you a wrench. Agreed. Tyler Gorthy, I like DeMar, but I'm just saying that he wasn't going up and taking it from a defender. I actually think he's played better than I thought he would. We have Dominus petition for that sexy Blue Bills helmet. It looks great. Oh, man, listen, bro, I can't give that one away. And so I can't give that one away. Listen, man, like I've been doing giveaways all season, and that's the one I just can't give away, bro. It's fire. It's signed by Jim Kelly. I got to keep it for my background. Sexy as hell, I know, right? I can't do that. Brady is doing all right. I don't know, bro. And so I hope the Bills play with those blue helmets next season. Wouldn't that be ideal, Jordan S? Wouldn't that be ideal? It must suck to be a Jets fan. We have Hamlin is mid. We have Bills Mafia J718. I just saw a post where Jets are trying out 6 kickers, one of which is Narvison. That one was the Packers. Why aren't the Bills bringing in kickers as well? I don't want to keep depending on Bass. Go Bills. I mean, listen, man, as far as Tyler Bass, he's been playing like shit for a little bit, but I'd say for the past couple of games, he's been doing his job, right? Um, I think what this Buffalo Bills team is doing is that so they're just seeing this overall efficiency from the offense where they're realizing, okay, like we really don't need Tyler Bass in game time crunch situations. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but and so like it or not, like we're stuck with him, bro. We are stuck with the guy. And listen, and the grass is not always greener on the other side because Greg the Leg is doing a hell of a lot worse for the Jets, right? And a lot of kickers are doing a hell of a lot worse. We just gotta hope. We just gotta hope. I'll always love the red helmets. Hear me out. Throwbacks 2000s jerseys for next year. Oh no, bro. Listen, man, I was not a fan of the 2000s. I was not a fan of the 2000s, like those navy blue ones you're talking about. I'm fine with the red helmets coming back, but those navies were disgusting. Those navies were disgusting, bro. I was not a fan of those. I feel like you just got to give me. So please give me a blue helmet and give me the reds back. Greg the Peg. Oh, the Peg is what King Lowski's talking about. So, Dan, what do you think of Richardson tapping out? And do you think he plays another game this season? We have Eric Kuntz. I mean, dude, listen, I was never high on Anthony Richardson, like out of college. And so I thought that he was super raw. And here's one thing about Anthony Richardson, because I did end up seeing a comparison of his stats for his first 8 games, and that was compared to Josh Allen's first 8 games as a Buffalo Bill. And I always like reminding people what Josh Allen did, folks, like completely becoming a different player from his rookie season, his second year, like into year 3, is an anomaly. I feel like people think that every single QB that starts off slow that has similar numbers to Josh Allen at the beginning of his career is going to take the Josh Allen path. People like don't understand that what Josh Allen did was 1 in a million. It was 1 and a million. First off, I don't think that Anthony Richardson, so in my opinion, is an NFL quarterback. And I hate to put this out there, but I genuinely believe that he is the next Russell. He's the next Jamarcus Russell. And I hate to be that guy to say that, but I think Colts fans would probably agree with me at this point, right? Like he doesn't have the intangibles. Like he can't see the field. His accuracy is absolutely terrible. He's obviously not conditioned. I don't know. I feel bad for Colts fans. And to be honest with you, I was shocked when they drafted him. I was absolutely shocked when they drafted him. No way. I say we keep the current jersey and pants combos, but change the helmet to blue or red. That and the white isn't that nice. We have Richardson with a trash emoji. He is an amazing athlete, but a quarterback. I mean, listen, maybe he makes a transition over to tight end and he becomes insane. Who even knows at this point? Us Bills fans are in a win-win situation for Thursday weekend. If the Texans win and we laugh at the Jets, more or the Jets win and we move up in the AFC and the Jets get a worse draft pick, it's a win-win regardless of what we see. We have AR is a project. Not sure why they drafted him so high. You have Pez. We need throwback black uniforms. I'm fine with the blacks too. Good morning, Zach. I'm a happy Cardinals fan. What up, dude? What up, Cards? Oh, man. We got some cards in the chat. I agree, William. Those are absolutely sick. So love the all blues, and we have a good record with the red, but I think the blues are absolutely fire. I meant Dan. I was like, who the hell's Zach, bro? And so do you think it's possible for the Bills to get Owusu Karama, linebacker from Cleveland? We have Trendy Astro coming in. So here's my deal. I really don't think that we're going to make a trade for a linebacker because the Buffalo Bills typically run a lot of packages out of nickel, and nickel really only requires 2 linebackers, right? So, say for example, we were going exclusively with just base defense. So base defense, like really at the end of the day, then yeah, sure. But we don't because we always want Taron Johnson to be out there as the slot corner. So, like when you look at it, so we have Bernard, so we have Dorian Williams, then Matt Milano comes back. Spector has been doing somewhat solid. Then Morrow. I really don't think that we would end up sending over draft capital. And so I really don't think that we would end up sending draft capital over for a player that would just be a depth piece. That's just me. It's more of an edge rusher that I think. Bills 30, Fins 17 until proven otherwise. We have Brandon in the chat, man. We have Eric Kuntz. It would be nice if when the new stadium opens, we get new uniforms, even though I don't want to wait that long. Wouldn't it be good? I mean, I just have a feeling that they're waiting for the red helmets to come back the second that we get our new stadium. That's when we're going to get all of these new uniform upgrades is when we get the new stadium. We're all waiting for that. What's the difference between Richardson taking himself out of the game for being tired versus a running back / wide receiver taking themselves out of the same reason? I feel like he was running the whole drive just wondering. I mean, here's the deal. Like, yeah, but like with like a running back and stuff along those lines, like he's like almost always 100% of the time taking contact, right? He is 100% of the time going to take contact, whether or not that he's getting a block or whether or not that he's getting tackled or whether or not that he is sprinting down, finding the specific gaps. 9 times out of 10, like with a QB, as long as they're not literally sprinting off like each and every single drive, I honestly think that there's no excuse because as far as so the cardiovascular workouts needed, like for a QB, like you're seeing a hell of a lot less than what you would see as a wide receiver or a hell of a lot less than what you would be seeing as a running back. That, and I've never seen it before ever. I've never seen a QB have to sit out for a couple of plays because he was tired, right? I feel like that just speaks to, so the conditioning and for the most part. For Tyler Bass, that does not have to be hard when it was reported he was getting death threats after that playoff game last year. Hard to focus when you are worried so much. We have JA17 equals fire, dude. 41-10 Buffalo. We have JK Gamer. By the way, Dan, believe it or not, and the Bills are my second favorite team. We're my dad's home team. We have a Cards and a guy that has respect for the Buffalo Bills. I can appreciate that. Thoughts on Samuel? Good player or just not using him right? So far, not too impressed. Stover, I'll tell you what about Curtis Samuel, man. I think that he's being used incorrectly. I feel like Joe Brady is trying to use him as a gadget guy, someone that was like Deontay Hardy or Isaiah McKenzie, where really I think that he would be very effective out of the slot, like as an actual wide receiver. I mean, his separation is always there. He's a good player. But the problem is that he's also been suffering with a turf toe injury from the beginning of training camp. And that's one of the most lingering injuries that we will see. And then also now he ended up having a shoulder issue like after the fact. So he just can't get out of his own way from an injury perspective. It sucks. We did sign him to a 3-year deal. I'm hoping that he can have a couple of good games here or there, but I don't know. What's the next goalpost move that Richie and TD are going to say when we win these next few games? I feel like that they're just going to say, oh, yeah, we'll see how you do against Kansas City in the playoffs. Who is still out for this week's game? Carter, Samuel, or Bernard? We haven't seen an official injury report yet. I will be breaking down everything that happened in practice today alongside with the injury report during my 5:15 p.m. stream. Have no fear there, my friend. Has anyone seen what the salute to service will be this year and the color and style of it, or do they wait until November? I believe it's going to be until November before it is released, but I'm sure it's going to be absolutely sick. Guys, Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Dom Mafia Live. That is right, guys. You ended up getting my preview. I have the Buffalo Bills handedly winning this game. I sincerely do. Say that we don't, then I will be very disappointed. But on paper, like, we just have matchup after matchup after matchup in the green, if you will. Should beat this team handedly. We should be 7-2, and obviously end up sticking around for a bit more content surrounding this game. Exactly what happens during practice, injury reports galore later this afternoon at 5:15 p.m. EST. I love each and every single one of you. 410 of you in the chat already, 226 on YouTube, 183 of you on X. Reminder, I am giving away this Josh Allen rookie card to a lucky winner on Sunday during my live game reaction against the Miami Dolphins. If you want to be a part of that giveaway, make sure that you do indeed subscribe to the channel and make yourself a free Pristine auction account. Link is in description. Love each and every single one of y'all, and I will see you later this afternoon and also at BetUS TV's The Huddle at 3 p.m. EST. Deuces.